So now moving on to strength training for marathon running. And before we kind of get into what to do, let's cover why we should do it by looking at the different parts of the body and the different muscles that we use when we run. So these are some of the most predominant muscles that we use. We have our quads, which really extends our knee and kicks it out with each stride. We have our hamstrings that when you pull on the ground, that's essentially a hamstring, propelling your body forward. We have your glutes, which essentially stabilize our pelvis, keep us nice and center, and stop us from wobbling. We have our calves as well, which is like suspensions that take all the impact when we land on the ground and propel us back up. We have our hip flexors as well, which lift our knee. We have our core, which stabilizes our upper body and helps us maintain good posture. We have our lower back muscles as well, which helps really similar with the core. And then we have our upper body as well, which helps us maintain posture and then build up momentum as well as we use our arms also when we run. So, what can you do to train them? There's so much. You can use bodyweight exercises, banded exercises. You can use machines or free weights. So the list is endless in terms of what we can do to train. So we'll touch on some exercises now, but let's touch on how we should train and how we can, build a weight training session into our marathon training block. So when it comes to weight training, there's two different types. There's a few, but two main types. There's strength focused, which is more on building our power output. And the way we achieve this is heavier weight and lower reps. And then we have endurance focused as well, which is essentially lower weight but higher reps. And the objective of this is to get our muscles, being used and sustaining themselves for a longer period of times. And there's multiple different exercises that we can do. Actually, just going back to this first, what I'd recommend, and I'll touch on this later on, is that when we're in a marathon training block, our focus is going to be on endurance. There's absolutely no point in going and doing a strength focused, session in the gym and our legs are being sore for 2-3 days later, because that's going to burn into our running time. So what I would recommend is in the off season, really focus on our strength focused work to build up our body and get more resilient, and then focus on strength endurance alongside our marathon training block as well, just to keep our legs, strong and ticking over. So just put up a few videos here of exercises that we can do at home. Some of my favorites here are the Bulgarian split squat, banded squats. We have our clamshells here on the right hand side, and we also have I don't know what this was, but I'm going to send out a video anyway, a spreadsheet with all different exercises that we can do and videos as well in the email. Here's some machine-based exercises we can do. So leg press, core rotational exercises here that you can see, and then single leg extensions. And why I would recommend single leg is that when we run, we also use both legs, and one leg is usually stronger than the other. If we train our legs in isolation, it helps really balance out the strength difference within our legs. And this is important as well, because if one leg is stronger than the other, it's going to compensate, especially when we run. And this again is a recipe for injury. So if our legs are of equal or equal enough strength, it helps our body stay more coordinated, for a better want of word, and prevents injury as there's no imbalances. So here's some exercises here that we can do with free weight. So we have our weighted sit-ups, and we have kettlebell swings, reverse lunges, and then we have single leg RDLs as well. And again, I'll include these in the follow-up email. And here's some functional exercises that we can do. So we have our wall balls, we have our deadlifts, we have our explosive step-ups, and then we have the sleigh push as well.